left closed session, but we've been adjourned while people went to bathroom and got a drink.
Madam Chair, would you agree that we're back in the open session?
I was just gonna say, we are now back in open session at 8:32. And with that, we will be looking for I guess, Mr. Manager, do you have anything you would like to advise us or ask us or recommend us as a discussion?
So I think we had a productive conversation with the city attorney. I think the city council understands the issues at this point. And if council's looking for a recommendation, I think we need a little bit additional clarity on the difference between regulation and zoning in this situation. I think we're probably pretty close to coming to a resolution, but I think we need a little additional clarity on it.
Would you like a motion or a directive?
Either way works for me.
I would entertain a motion to seek further clarification on regulation, the legal ramifications or legal structures with regulations and ordinances from the attorney, the city attorney and the manager.
Seconded.
I need that motion.
Oh, I'll make that motion.
Okay, any discussion on that? Do you feel like you understand what the motion is and what it's directing you? Okay, does that work for you, Madam Clerk? All right, then I will do a roll call. Since we're talking to the attorney, which would mean spending money. So, Ms. Powell. You want me to come back to you?
Yeah,
Do you have other discussion or questions?
I do have a discussion.
Okay,
We have this ordinance from 1982. Still on the books. And, it hasn't been amended in any way, shape or form, as far as I know.
That's completely false.
Is it?
We've amended the zoning ordinance 30 or 40 times.
I mean, the multi-home.
Yeah.
Ordinance.
I don't know the exact number of times, but. the
Yeah, no.
ordinance is amended.
what made a requirement, met the requirement in 1982 would not necessarily meet the requirement today.
Question for the city attorney's office.
No, you don't get to do that. You're out of order. You're out of order. You're out of order. You're out of order. You are out of order.
Right to discuss the issue.
Don't lie to them then.
You're out of order.
Don't lie.
You
to
are
them.
out of order.
You know that ordinance is codified.
I'm gonna kick you out.
You know that.
We've changed lots of those things. We've also changed building codes. We've changed a whole host of plumbing and water. At one time, we had lagoons. People had septic systems. There's been a whole range of changes.
The
since
justification
1982.
doesn't have to be made, okay,
What I believe,
on where we're at.
So to finish your question,
let's get some more information. And, hopefully next month it will be solved.
so to clarify the motion, we are directing the city manager to clarify some questions regarding regulations and ordinances with the city attorney. And that's the motion that is on the table.
I'll support it.
Well, it's been moved and supported. Do you have questions about it or discussion before we vote? Because I was starting to vote to approve it, and then you said you had some questions.
Yes. But I'm all done.
You're good?
Yeah. I'm good
Okay.
for now.
Any other questions, discussions on it? Okay. Ms. Powell votes yes. Ms. Atchison,
Yes.
Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Ms. Hamel,
Yes.
and Mayor Conley votes yes. The motion carries. You have your directive, Mr. Womack? Okay, moving on. Manager comments before council comments, and we didn't have it somehow on the agenda, but manager comments.
So we do have an issue right now with one of our marijuana licenses. It's might have expired. I don't know, which is unfortunate. You know, we do have some rules and requirements regarding marijuana licenses. I understand that some investigation needs to occur to determine whether that license was properly renewed in time or not. I guess what I'm asking is for the council to authorize me to investigate whether that occurred or not between now and the August meeting, at which point I will have answer for you, and we can determine whether any punishment needs to occur for that marijuana business.
Okay. Do you need the chair to recognize the people from the marijuana business to hear from them, or are you sufficient with what you need to be able to do your investigation of this?
I don't think I need any motion. I don't think we need to identify the business or not. I just want to
Okay.
make sure that the council's okay with me conducting the investigation. Because we take these matters very seriously,
Of course.
and if they did not renew their license on time, they deserve to be punished.
Okay.
I'd like to investigate that and bring more information back to you.
So would you like a straw poll of us saying that we support you doing that? Okay, so do we have a straw poll on supporting the manager doing this investigation to determine if the licensure was renewed when it was supposed to be, and if it wasn't, to bring forth appropriate?
I can support that. And just as a comment, we have a lot of marijuana licenses now, 5, 7. Some of the businesses have 2 licenses, I understand, right? Out on the highway district.
Or a different type of, there's different
Yeah,
kinds
they're
of
old cell.
licenses?
The HC district are required to co-locate
2 licenses.
at least 2, yes.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if it's any possibility of, as a city, this is the city license, we could form some kind of notification to the licensee that say in 30 days, your license is gonna expire, as if we would like a water bill or your taxes or any kind of a notification, if that would be out of the realm of our.
Or an official like policy that that's a thing we do?
Could we? Yes, we could. It adds a significant amount of extra work to city staff. And the only reason I'd be in opposition to something like that is this is a highly regulated business. They should know the requirements of them. And when we wrote our ordinance, we did it very specifically to have minimal requirements at the city level. I would go so far as to say is that our city ordinances are probably the least regulatory of any marijuana accepting city in Michigan. So if you are, as a business, unable to keep track of one date that you have to reapply for your license, that's kind of on you. Can we do it? Sure.
Right.
But we have plenty of work to do, and it's just
Right.
not one more burden I'm looking to add on.
And I can say as a person that has to renew a teaching license, if you have to, that's on me to do that. You have to renew an attorney license, and there's all kinds of fire licenses we renew for our fire department, and at some point, you just gotta kind of make
Yes, and
that
it-
stuff happen.
This is all new, not only to the businesses, but to our city, and there's might be a mistake or two.
Which
in the
is
beginning.
which is why the manager is going to investigate.
I fully intend on investigating, and if the punishment is warranted, we'll do it.
So you voted yes.
Yes.
And I think you voted, I voted, we're clear, you have your directive. Okay, anything else then? You need from us regarding that, because you didn't want a motion, you wanted a straw poll, right? All right, then moving on to council comments, unless there's anything else, we're good? Okay, Mr. Gross.
There was a value to having the attorney here tonight. I do believe that there's a resolution that can be adopted. I do know that there may be some issues yet that will have to be addressed. But I think it's time, and as much as I would love to say Thursday night, we could take care of this. We won't be able to cap it probably until next month, but I think there was progress made tonight in the understanding of a lot of people as to what the situation is and the way and why it's what it is. So I do see some light at the end of the tunnel.
Ms. Hamel,
I don't have anything to say.
Ms. Powell.
I guess I don't have anything to say, but I'm glad everybody's here and hopefully we can get this issue solved and please try to be patient with us. It's just, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Thank you.
Ms. Atchison?
I just want to say that I am thankful for all the people that live in the city and all the people that own businesses in the city. And there are certain things that we have to, certain ordinances, regulatory and otherwise that we have to follow. And I'm just sorry this thing got muddy is all, and we'll be able to deal with it eventually.
I appreciate the clerk and the city manager and the rest of council taking the time to make this happen. Because this is another, you know, we don't get paid any extra. The attorney's getting paid extra, but none of the rest of us do. To be here to try to resolve that. And I appreciate everybody carving out that time to make that happen. I also appreciate the attorney advising us to the best of the ability that he could, and then saying there's some things I need to get some more information on. So I also appreciate that, and I appreciate the manager engaging with him to try to get us those answers so that we can have a full understanding of how regulations versus ordinances are separate and how that will have to be engaged so that we can come to a solution with this. And then finally, on a completely different issue, it has come to my attention that we have not looked at our salary schedule for our staff. City manager is a little different than our overarching staff, and in like 4.5 years. And so we need to, and in this huge labor shortage, and we're struggling to find some people. And when I keep saying, I would like you to see about paying more, the manager said to me, well, you have a policy that is supposed to do this based on this thing that's like 4 years old. So I would like to recommend in his copious spare time that the city manager look at getting some of the data on that policy and what we might need to do to update and see what we have to do to make ourselves financially competitive for our staff so that we can retain, well, and fill some
Yes,
spaces. Yes, retain, yes. I know several staff have gotten job offers. But in addition, like, we just need DPW people, and we're gonna need a new DPW director because Bill is, as he keeps telling me, not going to do this when he's 80. And so we need to have some structures in place. It just hasn't been our fire burning brightest, but we probably need to try to move that to the front of the agenda. So that's my one piece of that I just wanted to say, we're gonna do that. So with that, we're adjourned.